Hello, Warrior families. This is Jason Brannon, principal of Westlake High School. Hope everybody is doing well and excited about our return for our blended students this Monday, March 8th. So we're going to review just a few items here. Hopefully it helps with regards to our phased in coming back approach, again, for our blended students, some bell schedule changes and some other information. So again, excited to have our students back. I'm going to share my screen here and we'll get going. So again, little presentation tonight. This is intended for our students and families at Westlake High School with some reopening information for you. Some things we're going to review in this video are safety expectations, check-in information for our students, for our staff, and all visitors. We're going to talk about bell schedule changes, upcoming calendar for the rest of the month of March, as well as our final exam schedule, and then some additional general information to help make this transition back to campus smooth and easy. So safety and check-in expectations, these are very, very similar to things that we reviewed back in January. So going over them again, just to try to help. Obviously, mask wearing is required. So everybody needs to wear masks. The idea is wear your mask from car to car. So from the time you get out of your car, whether you're driven or you drive yourself here, from the time you get back into your car, we should be wearing that mask. Obviously, the exception is if we're eating a snack or drinking something, but that mask should be off just for that little time, and then the mask should be back on again at all times. Also, social distancing is going to be a very big component and part of this. We do expect students and staff to be staying 6 feet apart, maintaining that social distance. Our classrooms are already set up that way. But again, in hallways around campus, we do expect that social distancing to take place. Also, hallways, we will have those propped open to help with airflow and circulation. However, students are asked to stay out of hallways until the passing period bell rings, so that you at that point can just go into the hallways and then straight into your classrooms. We do not want students gathering or being in hallways because again, we don't have that outside air or distance in those hallways. They are a little tight at times. Also, hand hygiene. We do have a number of hand washing or sanitizing stations around campus, as well as in our restrooms. So we do ask students and staff and our visitors to wash those hands often, make sure that they're clean. We also have sanitizing stations inside each of our classrooms as well. So please utilize those throughout the day. Also, arrows. We have a lot of arrows on campus. We have taken a lot of time to prepare the flow of traffic around campus and really feel like these will help in that setting or in that situation. So please follow the arrows. For building 4 in particular, the stairwells by the library entrance, those are our up stairwells. And then our down stairwells are the ones that lead down into the rose garden. For buildings 2 and 3, the stairwell outside of building 3 is an up stairwell. Our amphitheater has some down stairwells. And then the stairwell by building 1 is an up stairwell as well. So at the end of this presentation, there is a link to a presentation we did in January that really delineates all of those arrows and movement around campus if you need a refresher on that. Also, upon check-in, our different areas, we will have campus safety assistants as well as administrators covering these areas. So we will have multiple people to help expedite the speed of our check-in process. However, I still do recommend you come early. All staff does need to be check-in, and we are letting our teachers and staff bump to the front of the line there so they can get prepared for our students. But again, we have 3 points of entrance and exit. That is our bridge and front parking lot area, the north lot up by buildings 2 and 3, and then our student path coming from our student parking lot as well. So at each of those, again, we will have multiple people checking in for safety purposes. Also be reminded that when you check in, we will be doing screening, temperature screening, and obviously asking COVID-related safety questions regarding close contact or positive tests of COVID as well. All restrooms will be open throughout the day for our students to use, building 1, floor 1, building 1, floor 2, as well as our student cafeteria. There will be limits on the number of people that can be in the restroom at a time. However, again, all of those restrooms that we have on campus will be open for student use. Also, students are expected to carry their ID card at all times. So when you come onto campus and you're checked in, we will ask to see your ID card prior to coming on campus. If you do need a new ID card, you can see our attendance office window, and then we can assist you with that as well. Bell schedule changes in calendar. So obviously we're excited to have our blended students back on campus starting on Monday the 8th. March is kind of a broken up month a little bit in terms of the dates and how we're doing things. So I did really wanted to pay attention to the dates that are highlighted in red on this graphic here. So first of all, Friday, March 5th, that's tomorrow. We are on a Wednesday schedule. That means that all of our students will be remote in the morning. So just like on Wednesdays, we're gonna have combined cohorts in the morning, and in the afternoon, there'll be some reinforcement time and work for our students in the afternoon. But again, all students should be joining their classes in the morning tomorrow, March 5th, Friday, for combined cohorts. Then on Monday, March 8th, and on Thursday, March 11th, those are the days for next week that we will have in-person instruction for our blended students. So blended students will come on campus for instruction on those days. And then on Tuesday the 9th, Wednesday the 10th, and Friday the 12th, we will have remote instruction for all students. The following week on March 15th, we have no school, so there'll be no instruction that day. And then our on-campus option for our blended students would be on Tuesday, March 16th and Friday, March 19th. And then we'll have full remote instruction on March 17th and Thursday, March 18th. And then finally, our last week of the third quarter starts on March 22nd. So we will have blended students on campus on Monday, March 22nd, as well as Wednesday, the 24th, Thursday, the 25th, and Friday, the 26th. I'll talk about the final exam schedule in our next slide. We are bumping our Wednesday remote schedule that week from Wednesday to Tuesday to allow for the final exam schedule. So I know there's some changes in here in terms of schedule, so please take time to kind of look at this, mark your calendars appropriately, and be ready as we start to transition back to our on-campus instruction. Also, you'll notice from a bell schedule point of view that we are adjusting our times ever so slightly. So now our first class of the day will go from 8 to 9:05, and our second class goes from 9:25 to 10:30. And then you'll notice we have a longer break between cohorts A and cohorts B. And the reason for that longer break is to ensure that we can have proper time to disinfect, sanitize, and clean our classrooms in between the two cohorts. So please take a note of that slight time difference beginning on Monday the 8th. For final exam schedule, again, the final exams will take place on Wednesday, March 24th, Thursday, March 25th, and Friday, March 26th. So period 3 final exams will take place on Wednesday the 24th. So if you are a blended A student, for example, if you're a blended A student, you will come on campus to take your final exam from 8 to 9:45. And then you would go home at that point, and then you would have reinforcement time or study activities from 10:15 to 12 p.m. If you are a blended B student, your study and reinforcement time would be in the morning from 8 to 9:45. Then you would come to campus to take your final exam from 10:15 to noon that day. And the same thing will follow for all 3 days of the final exam. Period 3 again is on Wednesday the 24th. Period 1 is on Tuesday the 25th. And period 2 is on Friday the 26th. Now, if you are a remote student, so if you're in the remote learning model and you're in cohort A, then you will stay at home and take your final exam from 8 to 9:45, for example. And then if you're a cohort B remote student, you would stay at home, but be taking your final exam between 10:15 and 12. So again, these final exam days, if you are a blended student, the expectation is that you are on campus during your final exam time. If you're a remote student, then obviously you're taking that at home from it remotely. Some additional general information that we have for you. We are unable to accommodate learning model or cohort change requests at this time. Our master schedule has been built since the start of second semester in order to allow us to transfer back to campus. It's critical that we keep the assignments we have in order to be able to have that transition back to campus. If we don't, then quite frankly, we end up in a situation similar to what we were at the end of October. So again, I apologize that we're not able to honor those changes at this time for those learning models. But again, our master schedule is critically important to be able to get our students back on campus. So I appreciate in advance your understanding of that and kind of the difficulties that come with that. So again, unable to accommodate those things at this time. Blended students, if you are a blended student, you are expected to attend class in person. There's not the option of not coming to school and possibly just Zooming in or something. If you're a blended student, you are expected to be on campus to attend class. If you are unsure if you're a blended or a remote student, if you go to Parent Connect and parents go to Parent Connect and then the class cohort tab, that will tell you what the learning model and cohort is for your child. Also, blended students, when you're coming onto campus, you are welcome to bring technology devices with you. If you have a Chromebook or you have a laptop or something you want to bring to help with instruction and you've gotten used to using that during these last 12 months, by all means, you are free and welcome to bring your technology device to campus to help you from an educational point of view. Also, please continue to utilize our attendance line to report absences. That telephone number is 805-373-1790. If your student is absent or they're out, unable to attend class, it is very important that you do call out that absence, just like you would in a normal school year. And then again, to kind of welcome people back and having that opportunity back on campus, we really highly encourage students and staff and everybody really wear that WHS swag, that blue and orange, on Monday the 8th and on Thursday the 11th. Really kind of showing our spirit and being out there, I think is going to be great and really bring some more energy back to our campus. And then again, I mentioned this before, but we did do a review of various health and safety protocols and had a presentation in January about that. So there is a link here for that information, and I will be sending out an email with that presentation and this presentation as well for your reference. So I hope that that information was helpful for you. Again, a quick review, but just a review information of where we are and where we're going to be in the next week and couple weeks as we transition back to having students on campus. So again, hope that this was helpful for you. I cannot wait to see our students back on campus. This has been a long day coming and really excited for it and excited for this opportunity. And again, the students wearing your mask, staying socially distanced, and practicing all those health and safety measures will be extremely important to make this successful for all of us. So I know you guys will do great and really, really looking forward to that. So again, hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for listening to this, reviewing all those safety protocols. And again, don't forget about the schedule change tomorrow. All students are in that combined cohort in the morning, and then really looking forward to have our blended students back on campus starting on Monday the 8th. Thank you so much and have a great night.